BBC Radio Devon, Cyndi Lauper.
Okay, so when you think of skiers, you think of Austrians, Italians, and the Swiss on the piste and the slopes. But the British alpine skier, Geyer, learned here in Devon.
Torquay was a fantastic place to learn to ski for me. Just the enthusiasm up at the club. It was my dad that first took me up to the ski slope, and yeah, just fell in love with it. It's great up there.
Yet at the same time, we think of Torquay as the English Riviera, of course, basked in sunshine. It's an unlikely place to create a British alpine ski team member, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, there's certainly no mountains in Torquay. I learnt my trade up on the dry ski slope up there, and it's not very long compared to alpine slopes, but still long enough to get a lot out of it and learn the basics. And it can be a bit hot and dry up there compared to a wintry alpine resort, but nonetheless, it still can be great fun, and I certainly had a great time learning up there.
And artificial ski slopes aren't quite as slippery as snowy ones, are they?
No, they're not quite as slippery, but there's all sorts of interesting things you can do to your skis to make them as slippy as possible on the dry slope. The last time I was racing on dry ski slopes, we were using wire pulling lubricant, covering the bottom of our skis and that, and a huge push off, and it really is just a sprint right down the slope. It's awesome.
Jai, give us a day in the life of a member of the British alpine ski team. You're in Austria at the moment. How does a day there pan out?
Lots of early starts. So a typical day, for example, up at 6 o'clock, something like that. Breakfast, huge breakfast, lots of porridge, lots of carbohydrate before we head out onto the mountain for training. Training session will last 2 to 3 hours, depending on what discipline we're training in. Fairly intense, each one lasting about a minute, full on racing down the hill. And then we'll head back, have lunch, do some recovery. So we flush out the lactate that we built up when we've been skiing, which we do by 20 minutes, 30 minutes on the bike. And then normally some fitness in the afternoons in the gym. And then, of course, in the evening, we're tuning our skis and tuning our equipment ready for the next day. It's a pretty full day.
It's the British National Alpine Ski Championships next weekend. How confident are you? How well are you likely to do?
I'm feeling confident going into the British Alpine Championships. I've been building some form in the last few blocks of training, and the most important thing is that I go in there and perform and ski the way I know I can, and hopefully get the results that I need.
Jai, although we're going big on funding for the Olympics, obviously, a lot of cuts have been made in this country to the funding of what you do. Are you worried about up-and-coming people trying to start out in skiing?
Yeah, I am, actually, because I think in the UK we've got plenty of opportunity to try ski racing without immediately thinking of going on some glamorous and expensive ski holiday. We've got a number of indoor snow domes now, and quite a big scene developing for indoor snow dome skiing, and indeed dry slopes up and running. So it is a worry because we do have talent. There is no difference genetically between British youngsters. There's nothing to say that they can't become great skiers like Austrians and Italians. The difference is where they live and the training that's available. But we definitely have talent, and it's got to be invested in and brought through. It's really important that it gets attention.
But is it really likely that we are ever going to be as good? Because we just don't have the snow, do we? So is it not more sensible to invest more money in perhaps summer sports?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to invest the money into sports where more people are participating, pumping money into something like cycling. There's more people at the bottom of the pyramid, so to speak. But I think we can compete at the highest level. It needs investment in our best alpine athletes, and it only takes one or two in British skiing to be leading the way to inspire other youngsters to come through.
Geyer, British Alpine team member who learned to ski on the dry slope in Torquay, would you believe?
BBC Radio Devon.
Eyewitness travel.